Okay, Javier Dominguez, blue-black scam on the left side of the board, while on the right side we got the Guillem, Salvador on Grixis. Oh, the very classic start, right? You go for the Dragon Rage channel on the first turn.
Yeah.
Followed up with a bobble. We'll still see whether he wants to keep the card. Looks like he wants to, and pass the turn.
I'm really excited about this match because Guillem Salvador is a known Magic like legacy grinder. He has accomplished a lot of good finishes so far, and yeah. So let's see. Like the Grixis Delver deck is like the typical like tempo deck, you know, so to speak. Like you have a lot of one drops. You know, we have Days Force Away Wasteland. Javier also has Days Force Away Wasteland, all that, but in comparison, he doesn't run any one-drop creatures, I think. But he relies more on the Entomb Reanimate, Troll of Khazad-dûm, Animate Dead, Reanimation package, and then, you know, has Psychic Frog. I believe both players probably run a couple of Psychic Frogs here. The new Legacy Superstar.
And Guillem, already pretty close to Delirium, ended up deciding to ditch the Dragon Rage Channeler with the Surveil trigger. 3 types of cards in the graveyard. Next turn he could add the 4th one to send Dragon Rage Channeler to the air. Javier, not with the classic Grief opening, might just be like a land go or something. Maybe even Wasteland go. Yeah, he was considering it, dude. We saw that yesterday, right? All the way to the final, Seth and Texas taking it down with aggressive Wastelanding all across the board. And looks like the world champion agrees. This is a spot, given the head that he has, where he wants to Wasteland and try Guillem. Maybe Guillem just like doesn't have an extra land. Of course, as we know, he does. He actually has 2 extra lands. First of all, getting in for 3 damage, now that we have a land in the graveyard as well. And adding Delver of Secret Support. Very aggressive start.
Damn, look at this. Yeah, 4, potentially 6 power on the board against no permanents.
Also, Lightning Bolt in Grixis in Guillem's hand, so could accelerate the beatdown even further. While Javier, he needs to make something happen soonish, right? Like the best you can do the first time if you had it would be like Fatal Push. I don't think he has that. Also no Entomb or ways to get creatures into the graveyard. So the Animate isn't really going to do anything. We keep Wastelanding, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's the idea, right? If you hope that Guillem doesn't have anything else going on, and then eventually you will be able to deal with those creatures before Guillem comes back to the game. But Guillem, yeah, perfect opening, answers both of those Wastelands with extra land drops. Doesn't flip the Delver though, and
do like the fetch land though. Do like the fetch land. You know, you get a little bit of a scrying action in the upkeep. Then you can still decide if you want to, you know, crack your fetch land, shuffle your library or not.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. All these little ways, right, to maximize Delver.
Yeah.
We already talked about Bobble, like using it at the opponent's turn.
Yeah, it's the small things.
And the small things sometimes are what's pushing you across the finish line, right? Sometimes the small things are the difference between 1 and 0 life, which is like all the difference in the world. Okay, here we go. Look at the top card. It's not flipping, and Guillem also doesn't want it. So I would say it's a Murktide Regent.
It could be.
Or a land, right?
It
There's
could
too
be.
many things.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, you already have enough creatures in play. Javier's on 13 life.
And you're also like pretty far from. Actually, are you pretty far from casting Murktide Regent? We can't really see Guillem's full graveyard here. I think there are a lot of more cards in the graveyard, right? Because you already had Delirium at some point.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, 4 damage is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Adding, I think if that Delver flips next turn, and he's got the Brainstorm in hand and the Bolt to show. Yeah, he's. I wonder if Javier would actually force the Brainstorm. If Guillem goes for something like an end of turn or upkeep Brainstorm. But the thing is, if Javier doesn't find anything relevant here, I think he's just going to scoop before even passing the turn.
Possible.
Like if he sees the writing on the wall and he picks up 0 relevant cards, then even his next draw step is not going to save him. Oh, end of turn Brainstorm. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then.
Okay, we do pick up a Psychic Frog. Now, this gets really interesting now because the Dragon's Rage Channeler, remember, like, it has to attack. The Psychic Frog can get flying. Javier can exile 3 cards from his graveyard to give it flying until end of turn. He can dump a couple of his cards into the graveyard to make it at least a 3/4. So this might be a really dynamic combat step here. Guillem, though, still on that Lightning Bolt, I think. The Brainstorm and Javier on 9 life. Oh man, this is a close one. Let's see.
I mean, you don't really love forcing the brainstorm there, right? I think Javier is going to let it resolve. I just like I have that gut feeling that in the end he's going to decide, you know what, I need a lot of variants to go my way. Maybe I just let it resolve, and you pretty much have to expect that the Davos flip.
Yeah. Also remember, like if he forces, like that's like 2 less cards you can potentially pitch to the Psychic Frog.
There's also 1 more life loss.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see whether let's see.
Who knows? Maybe they flip anyway.
I mean, you still get the surveil trigger, right?
Oh my goodness! Lightning bolt! Oh my goodness! Wow! That is that was an insane flip. Okay.
I mean, we already had the lightning bolt in hand, but now the second one makes it so that it's easy.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, to Javier it looked like
he knocked his first lightning bolt. Nope, that was the second one.
Never didn't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, our players sideboarded up, and Javier is starting out on a surveil land. You already mentioned, right? These became so popular. When we were discussing these on the podcast, on Everyday Channel, I think you and Callum, you were actually like bringing up the card and saying, hey, this could actually be something. I was like a little bit skeptical, but yeah, they became even bigger than you guys expected them to be. And they're fully integrated into Legacy. And the big thing, they have the land types, right? So you can fetch for them. That's why so many decks they put like 1 or 2 copies in there because it's super easy to get that.
Also, I think like on the podcast we also said that like in the if you cast days, you pick up that surveil and that's actually kind of tempo negative, and I don't know if you want to do it all the time. Guess what? Like on camera, people do it all the time. Pick up that surveil land, play it again, get another surveil. Surveil is such a strong mechanic, much better than Scry. Has a lot of synergy with the graveyard. It plays perfectly in your Merc that Region deck, in your Dragon's Rage Channel deck, in your Re-Scaminator deck that also plays Reanimate. But it's also really good in combo decks such as Doomsday. I'm a big fan of Doomsday, and sometimes you cast Doomsday and then you go play that on the City Sewers and surveil the first card of your pile to the graveyard. It can be even sometimes like a deep analysis, for example.
Is that card ever gonna come back? Deep analysis for value, just like you pay 4 mana, then 2 mana, you draw 4 cards altogether.
Oh, dude,
you don't do that anymore.
Dude, like one of my old-time favorites, or like one of my favorites in I think like last year or 2 years ago was end of turn, consider, randomly hit that deep analysis, go on tap, draw, and cast the flashback. So good. Call it Ancestor Recall.
Gonna put you to the test. Chat, you can play along. What's the flavor text on Deep Analysis?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Really?
I know the one from Dark Confidant. Yeah.
No, let's not distract here. Yeah, Dark Confidant is easy. Come on, what is the flavor text on Deep Analysis? I mean, anybody knows by heart?
Okay.
Don't look it up.
I mean, I know it's Mastercore on
exactly.
on the thing. So
there's like a surgery table and like the cephalids. Oh, sorry, the octopuses are looking at Masticore, and the flavor text refers Masticore.
Oh, really?
It says the specimen seems to be broken. Because Masticore is like a broken card, and then they look at it. It's like, oh, specimen seems to be broken. It's like I love it. I love it so much. One of my favorite flavor texts. They're looking into it. They're like, turns out it's broken.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Wizards, why didn't you know? Anyway, so after Delver has been dealt with, we run out the big dragon once again. Now it's actually just a 5/5, and Javier is looking at a graveyard. He doesn't really have anything proper to reanimate yet, from the looks of it.
There is an Oakish Bowmaster. Doesn't line up too well versus Merc Regent.
It's still digging. Done a lot of scrying, so we pick up an animate that. I think that's a reanimate in a daze. While we hold another Entomb, a reanimate, and a ponder in hand. Like, that's how it looks pretty familiar. I know people like to almost never shuffle on the ponder, and I agree. And so does Javier. Javier picks up the daze, I believe. And yeah, he can actually use the Entomb as a shuffle effect, right? If he doesn't want the other cards, yeah, goes for it right away. And can then, like, if he really wants to go for it, I think he has got a reanimate in hand. He can try to reanimate the Archon of Cruelty here. Do you play into daze and do it, or would you rather take the 5 damage of the dragon, the Murktide, and so also, like, of course, giving Guillem another turn?
Yeah. you know, like the card reanimate comes with a cost, right?
Oh, but once you get Dragon, I mean, you also gain back 3 life right away. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I guess you do. I guess you do.
Okay. No, but Javi just like, okay, let's trade for your Pyroblast here. I mean, he's completely fine with that, I would guess. Technically, I guess you could daze and then like later on get some extra value out of your scry. We would call that greedy.
Yeah. Like that Pyroblast a lot. Javier is on only 2 cards. The Ponder, like a turn, I don't know if this is like turn 3 or turn 4, but like turn 3 to 4 Ponder is like much stronger than turn 1 Ponder. I think, especially when you're so low on resources. Like you know exactly what you're looking for, and yeah, I feel like you know, Guillem might be thinking, hey, like, oh wow, there's even the days.
Yeah,
fighting back.
You know, Javier might be feeling he needs to find something on the Ponder because you probably don't expect your reanimate to work out. Okay, he's got the animate there on top of that, so you can actually try twice. I don't hate where he is. Like, yeah, you take 5 damage from the Murktide. I think the big problem, of course, would be if Guillem is sitting on like a perfect hand, but then we're probably not beating that.
Right.
But also, he could be sitting on a second Murktide to grow the first one and get him for a ton of damage. Maybe even make it bigger than the Archon of Cruelty. So like,
Oh no. Okay. For a second I thought it's a Gourmet Angler, but I think it's a Murderous Cut, I believe.
What is a Murderous Cut?
The last card in Javier's hand.
Oh really?
I think.
I thought it was a daze. Oh no, he dazed. He picked up the Underground Sea. He replayed it so he could reanimate the Archon of Cruelty. I see. Oh, and now we're okay, all resources have been traded, and now there's gonna be an Archon. Oh my God, how does he do it?
Oh wow.
How does he do it?
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, yeah. You just like, you keep reanimating until it works.
Yeah.
You know, one of those diagrams, just like, did it work? No.
Nope.
And then it's like an arrow back to try again.
Repeat.
Shoutouts to TLC, try again. Anybody remembers that song? Must have been like 500 years ago or something.
Wow.
Chat is requesting feature matches. Thalai, which is Javier's nickname. Mengu. Yeah, we then Thalai again. Yeah. Nobody ever said they're going to be random, right? So, final game of round 3 here for these 2 guys. By the way, really powerhouses, right? You mentioned how Guillem has like, I want to say like top 4, like several Eternal weekends, and he might have won of 4 seasons. Like, he's got so many accolades.
Oh yeah, totally.
And then on the other side of the board, former, still kind of like inspired world champion, Javier Dominguez. He has his own card for fuck's sake. He's got like that red card where he's like riding that horse. You have no idea what it does, right?
No, I don't.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Just like I know what it looks like. So Guillem deploying 2 creatures very early on. Javier does what Javier likes to do in the early game: scry, chill and scry.
Yeah.
You can learn from this man. He's like so zen.
Yeah, like you know, like sometimes you do hit a creature and which you can reanimate right away.
And then it's broken. Then it's like super broken, yeah. Dude, can you imagine how broken Grief would be if instead of like ditching, you would need to discard a card?
Oh wow.
Turn 1 Grief, discard my Archon of Cruelty,
wow.
take your counter spell, reanimate it, easy. Oh man. So Guillem is still figuring out whether he wants to let that happen, but yeah, probably not gonna force a full this. Lots of random stuff. There's no second land, which is the first thing I see. Surgical and Hearse. Force plus Pitch and Pyroblast. I mean, lots of utility. I'm really, like, whatever Javier is going to take is probably depend a lot on what he has in hand and what the rest of his game plan is going to be and how he wants to fight those 2 creatures. I just feel like the answer is always get Archon, reanimate Archon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta get that Archon out and hug tour on this opponent.
You didn't just say that. Oh my God! If you want to get some special delivery, check out Kai's website because I think he also has some options for that. Anyway, I maybe even live tomorrow when you're gonna build up your booth here. Yeah. So if you are here tomorrow for some reason, but you're watching today, tomorrow is gonna be the modern main event. There's also gonna be so many side events. I still don't know which one I'm gonna be playing in. Maybe pre-modern, maybe Pauper, maybe Legacy. Or maybe I just like play against you all day because there's gonna be a challenge booth, right?
That is.
You can pay.
That
is it 10 euros?
That's yeah.
10
And
euros,
you can
challenge Kai.
you can challenge me in Modern and Legacy. Not in pre-Modern though. At least not yet.
You wouldn't be a challenge. Like
I don't even know how the format works.
you should get into pre-modern, seriously. Like as somebody who does this professionally,
Uh-huh.
you should really get into pre-modern because pre-modern is the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we are already living in the future. Pre-modern is so big, and Javier still doesn't know what he wants to take there. I like it. I like tough decisions on that. Okay, he actually goes for the surgical. So it's getting slightly closer to finally reanimating. Of course, I think the idea for him here is maybe he actually wants to animate that, the grief at some point. Because you need to trade for the Forcible, right? Before you can ever get your Archon anywhere near any reanimation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be really rough.
Okay.
Because you can't defend yourself with like the well, I guess Daze, but not with Forcible. Because Guillem has Pyroblast up.
Also nice brainstorm. Like got 2 more lands. Enough mana to cast Animate Dead.
Is this Javier's second turn, I would think, right?
Oh yeah, should
So
be.
he would be able to still play a land there. Okay, okay. Putting some of that stuff back. Those brainstorms. Really tough decision on the grief. Really tough decision on the brainstorm. Feel like he wants to keep a lot of those cards. And you know what? He also picked up a Fatal Push somewhere along the way, I believe.
Okay.
So maybe he just wants to chill, you know, upkeep, Fatal Push one of your creatures. Either trade for the Forcible or like just get rid of your creature. No. Delver does not flip once again. 2 mana, that can only be hers.
Ooh, look at this. Unlicensed Hearse, triggering the DRC.
And the hearse is a really big problem for Javier now.
Yeah. Hers is very good.
It's actually a nightmare to think about it.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
it's not like he's gonna overload the graveyard so much that hers can't keep up with it. Like I guess the idea would be that you have like 3 targets in the graveyard, and then 2 animation spells. That works. You do the first animation spell, they remove 2 targets, and then you do the second animation spell, and it works. So you would need to set it up in a way where you try to reanimate, like say a grief or a troll. They activate the hearse, and then you catch them off guard by going, okay, land, entomb, get my Archon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been in that situation many times where I feel like, is this what they're gonna do? But let's see, maybe Javier also has enough removal that he can just like play a normal game. I mean, an unflipped Delver isn't the end of the world. And he's got a Psychic Frog. So maybe he's already like maybe 5 steps ahead, and he already has seen the future, and he knows that like Graveyard is not going to be relevant anymore. Let's see. Psychic Frog, probably just going to get Pyroblasted if Guillem ever gets to untap then. So not too excited about that one. Instead we're brainstorming again. Yeah, Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, that's at least like an out for Licensed Hearse, at least for a turn. It's not fantastic. It's probably rather meant to bounce Murktide Regent if one comes down later in the game.
There's also a Reanimate in hand. And Murderous Cut, yeah, you were right. There's also Murderous Cut in the deck. Javier is working with somewhat small resources here. Going to be exciting to see how he makes the best of it. Meanwhile, on the other side, on Guillem's board, I mean, hers is nice, but the Delver still hasn't flipped, and Javier is still sitting at 60 life. That's like still pretty comfortable. You want to flip the Delver, right? That's the next big thing. If you don't flip the Delver, you can't even get past the Frog.
Yeah, I mean, bonus points.
I mean, you can't, even if you flip the Delver, you're probably not getting past the Frog, I would think.
Yeah, yeah. Bonus points for Guillem if he can win the game with Licensed Hearse. You know, you have those games sometimes where like it grows all the way up to like a 10-10 or 20-20. You crew it with your Delver, and it's a one-shot kill.
Picking up that Unholy Heat. Another way to actually, I think Unholy Heat had a kind of resurgence because it kills Troll of Khazad-dûm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. So now Guillem attacking with the Delver. And does he just like want to proactively kill? Yeah, he goes for the frog while Javier is tapped out.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, sure. Let me grab that reanimate from the top.
Yeah, very nice. Like all the reanimate and animate deads in Javier's hand, kind of dead cards. You know, if you look at the unlicensed hers,
I mean, as soon as you find the second one, they're alive again. Like if you have a single one, it's bad. But once you have the second one, you can actually like try to create something.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's actually picking up a copy of Animate Dead, but doesn't want it. Oh, he already has 2 copies of Reanimate. Okay, I see. And he's got the Archon of Cruelty. Of course, he doesn't want to draw that. Probably puts that 1 second from the top, and I would guess Animate Dead on top. Murderous Cut on the Delver. Easy game there. And now we sit back and wait once again.
Oh, that's really cool. So, in response to the hers, he exiled the cards as the cost for Murderous Cut.
Happens to me all the time when I play Painter. Like,
really cool.
Like when I first started playing against the Frog, I thought I
Yeah.
was like so smart and like doing all these plays, and then the opponent was like, you know what, on your turn, I'm just gonna give it flying.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, there was something.
Yeah. How about another one?
Well, the Frog has flipped the sides. No, it's on Guillem's side. Cat Stradders cut again. Feels like biology class back in school. Did you guys like cut open frogs in biology class?
I might have missed that, but yeah, I
okay.
but it used to be very common. I don't know if folks do this still.
I don't hate Guillem's position, but it's so hard to bet against Javier, right? Every time I try to bet against him, he proves me wrong. Reanimate, yeah. Basically going after the opponent's Dragon Rage Channeler, maybe even? No, probably more like Delver, I would think. Like, neither is exactly exciting. And then you're putting Guillem like in the spot of, do you use your hers or not? Because we talked about, right? There could be Entomb, Reanimate, but...
Oh, wow. And Guillem doesn't use his unlicensed hers.
Yeah, I like that. And that's how Javi gets like a little bit of value, because that's how you play around the hers. Because you put the fear into the opponent that if they use hers, they will be like completely dead because of Entomb Reanimate. I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Oh wow, yeah, and now we finally see the first cards being removed by unlicensed hers. After it's been sitting around for
like 3 turns.
I don't know how many turns, yeah.
Okay, now the frog grows on Guillem's side. I'm gonna get that Ponder. There's Murktide Regent, okay. Wouldn't hate that. Land and just pass, okay. No need to expose ourselves to days. And I guess
picks up a land.
I mean, ideally you want to fight a removal spell, right, for the frog. But other than that, I'm not sure what would excite Javier here.
Oh yeah.
Maybe no, Entomb wouldn't do it. Cutting Guillem's deck.
Yeah, Guillem totally in the driver's seat here.
Picks up a force.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
That's so hard for Javier.
Beautiful.
Like, I still believe like his path to victory. Oh my god, and now you have to deal with that as well. I was going. Yeah, he just packs it up. He's like, no, I can't win anymore.
Wow. Yeah. Unlicensed hers, ladies and gentlemen. What a card.